started making this record
Yeah.
last April last year. I have no idea. So it's like I'm a painter with a big blank canvas,
Yeah.
white canvas, big one, and I didn't know what to paint. So I was looking at canvas for a while. What should I paint? So because before I started, I had some ideas and sketches beforehand, but when I started making, I threw everything away,
Okay.
dumped. So I had nothing. But it's a very gorgeous, luxurious time. You don't know anything what to do. It's a very, very nice, very precious time. So I had to enjoy. So I started making what I wanted to hear. And what did I want to hear? So I started collecting some sounds, like everyday objects, sounds,
Oh, yes.
or scratching. I started, buying some things. Regular instruments also, like cymbals, gongs, guitar, cello, but also I picked up on the street, from the streets.
The knock on
Some
the door.
door noises. I love door noises, knocks. Also, because I the composer Bach,
Yeah.
Johann Sebastian Bach, has been my biggest influence
Oh, really?
since I was little. So I started rearranging my favorite Bach pieces, like a chorale, beautiful chorale, organ chorale.
And the first music of the album, is that an organ or synthesizer organ?
Synthesizer.
Yeah. But sounds like a real organ.
So that's how I got started.
Yeah. I hear that you mentioned that this album is like a soundtrack for an imaginary movie of Andrei Tarkovsky. Is it right? But this concept came after the album was finished. Yeah.
No. In the middle.
In the middle.
Yeah. No, so I was trying all those, objects,
Yeah.
sound, street sound, arranging Bach for 4 months, just drawing many things. Then after 4 months, I even went to Kyoto to get some sounds, or upstate New York in the forest, Paris, New York, to look for some interesting sounds for 4 months. Then I thought I had to decide the direction of the album. So at that time, okay, let's do an imaginary soundtrack for Tarkovsky. Well, it's an homage for Tarkovsky, because I'm a long time fan of the Tarkovsky films.
Yeah.
So let's get this direction after 4 months. So.
I will change the record a little bit, but we can came to a sync later. But I will talk a little about Bossa Nova and your work. David Byrne of the Talking Heads used to say that when he was young, he thought that Bossa Nova was just elevator music. Actually, I think elevator music and ambient music are similar, but just later he discovered the richness of Bossa Nova. And for you, how was your first impressions of Bossa Nova, and when it did occur?
Yes, the first time I heard Bossa Nova music was I was 11 or 12 years old, and I was so surprised. It is popular music. It's music for ordinary people, but I thought it was most sophisticated music, like almost Debussy or Chopin, but in a pop format.
Yeah.
Incredible. So yes, since the very beginning, I loved Bossa Nova.
Yeah, maybe it's a common sense that Bossa Nova and Japan have some links, some cultural aspects of Japanese culture, but you know that Japan always loved heavy metal and samba, roots samba. The question is, do you think this link is real between Bossa Nova and Zen philosophy or something like this? Do you agree with this?
Well, I'm not sure it applies to everyone, every Japanese, but yes, it is. I think it's true to me personally. I like the aspects of Zen in Bossa Nova. It's very flat.
Yeah, João Gilberto is very Zen.
Static and very flat, and not so much dynamics, but it's very, very flat. But it's like a plateau, you know. The very the most intense music in a way is very peaceful, but then very, very intense and going forever. It's almost like it's like a meditation.
Yeah. You said about Bossa Nova at your teenage years, but when did you notice about the work of Antônio Carlos Jobim?
Since the beginning.
Since the beginning, you identified this great composer. I think that there is a link between you and Jobim, because I think you both are very love the Claude Debussy work. Yeah. And Debussy was very impressed by Japanese culture. Where did you identify this Debussy flavor in Jobim's music?
I know his music has some influence of Debussy, but also like a romanticism of Chopin, or maybe Schumann, or some Brahms are in Jobim's music, and Debussy and Ravel too. So it's all mixed, and it's there's a string, very thick string of musical history through Jobim, Debussy, Jobim, and all around to the Far East. So it's very nice.
We can identify a very strong influence of Chopin in some Jobim music, but also Gershwin. Chanson is a song by Jobim music and lyrics, and you have one phrase that is from An American in Paris of George Gershwin. We can sing with Gershwin's music. Some people
Gershwin, of course, related to Ravel, of course.
Yeah, but many critics accuse Jobim of plagiarism. I think this is another kind of work. It's not plagiarism. What do you think?
I think Jobin is one of the romantics to me. To me, Jobin's music is much more closer to Chopin, Schumann. And if people say Chopin's music is for pleasure, maybe Jobin's music is also, but so what?
Okay, just I think our time is finished. You made the soundtrack of the Revenant, and it's I think maybe the plot of this movie could be a metaphor of your fight against cancer. And at that time, did you think in it?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Yeah, because
I was not fully recovered yet when I worked on the Revenant. So I thought, because the working with Mr. Inaritu was very hard, and the process was 6 months. It was very hard, intense 6 months. So I thought the cancer would come back. So I might die. I thought I might die, but then I decided to do it. But then, luckily, after finishing this work, I got more energy somehow.
But when you saw the movie, you made this link between your condition and the Leonardo DiCaprio holds his fight.
Well, no, I knew that.
You knew the story,
yes,
yeah.
Because I had to see films.
I know.
500 times.
And just one more question. The soundtracks, was this a natural? It was a goal to make soundtracks, or did it happens naturally to make soundtracks? What was your goal? Try to work with movies?
In general.
Yeah, I want to know if you studied to make soundtracks, or was your goal or came accidentally?
Okay, I will tell you how I started, writing film music. In the very beginning, I was asked to act in Merry Christmas, Mr. Lawrence.
Yeah.
First.
No.
Act first by the director. So I asked the director, Mr. Oshima, let me do the music.
Oh.
So I will act yes, but then let me do the music. So that's how I started. So it's almost accidental.
Yeah. Very curious.
So then, after Merry Christmas was done, then I got another phone call from Bertolucci. Do the acting again, act in The Last Emperor. And then the shooting was done. Bye. Then maybe 3 months later, I got a phone call to do the music from next week.
And so
yeah,
it
so
goes.
it's not my choice, but from others, from outside. So it was not my goal.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah. Okay, thank you so much. I'm very pleased with this interview.